Excellent conditions and a huge crowd of 51,500 in the Commerzbank Arena in Frankfurt for the visit of Bayern Munich. Bayern, of course, the measure of all things last season, getting off to a great start by beating Gladbach 3-1 last week. Would they continue in that rich vein of form against Frankfurt? Frankfurt in the red and black. First shot coming in from Inui. The Japanese international involved in most things in Frankfurt. Arjen Robben starting the game on the bench. Down the left, David Alaba. Great header from Toni Kroos, who became a dad earlier in the week, trying to give himself a little baby present, but the post thwarting the Bayern midfielder. Mario Götze on the bench. Has he recovered from his thigh injury? Would we see him later in the game? The crowd were hoping so. Lahm down the right to Müller, under no pressure, an inch-perfect pass, and the ball hammered home by Croatian international Mario Mandzukic, his second goal of the season. He scored one last week against Borussia Mönchengladbach. No chance whatsoever for Kevin Trapp in goal for Frankfurt. Frankfurt, of course, last week hammered by Hertha Berlin. Pep Guardiola, Bayern's new coach, delighted with what he had seen thus far. Kroos once again. A fantastic chance falling to Dante, the Brazilian international. A great save by Kevin Trapp, but really the Brazilian should have put Bayern 2 up from that distance. Right on half-time, a controversial decision. Flume with the header. Alex Meyer has the ball in the back of the net, but the referee's assistant ruling that Meyer was fractionally offside. Once again, in slow motion, up goes Flume. And there we see that Meyer, well, he looked on a level line with the defence, but the referee did not give it. At half-time, with Uli Hoeneß and Karl-Heinz Rummenigge looking on, Bayern very much in command. Into the second half, and Bayern really picked up where they left off in the first half. The only thing that Bayern were lacking was goals. First substitution for Bayern, Shaqiri goes off, Thiago comes on. He was in action with the Spanish side in Ecuador. A lot of jet lag and, of course, travel stress to overcome for Thiago. That's why he didn't start. Alaba firing one in just over the crossbar. Bayern totally in control. The only thing they were lacking was a second goal. Then Arjen Robben brought on Thomas Müller, who was in action for the German national side in midweek against Paraguay, substituted. The Dutchman coming on. Would he make the difference? Robben lays it back, and another fine save from Kevin Trapp. One of many fine goalkeepers, young goalkeepers, Trapp in the under-21 squad. Kroos looked impressive all afternoon. Robben managed to get the ball in the back of the net, but the flag was raised, the Dutchman given offside. In fact, there were 3 Bayern players caught offside in that move. It was almost one-way traffic, only sporadic attacks from Frankfurt. And then, almost at the death, Neuer nearly conceded the equaliser. What the goalkeeper was thinking about, only he will know. But it was a weak shot indeed from Srđan Lakić, brought on as a substitute. He should have done a lot better from that distance, and then a controversial decision by the referee. He did not award a penalty. That's what the fans wanted, but Peter Gagelmann had an excellent game. Although it must be said that in this slow-motion replay, we do see that Boateng's arm goes out and it looks like a push, but the referee didn't give it. Guardiola's men triumph in Frankfurt by 1-0, 2 defeats in a row for the home side.